What's up, world? I told y'all I was going live at 7. I started a little bit early. I got off work a little bit early. If you have not been paying attention to my shorts, or if you're not a regular person who has been watching me, not saying I have those type of people. I have just started doing Lyft. So when I say I just got off work early, I stopped doing Lyft kind of early because I was in the Bay Area, about San Francisco, but a ride took me to a different part of the Bay Area, and every time it does that, I end up cutting my app off, or I do a couple more rides in that area that it took me to. But since it's almost 7, I decided to stop early. This live is going to consist of me searching up questions regarding how I could get 1,000 subscribers. Recently, today, I looked up, can you gain 1,000 subscribers by going to ask people? And Google said, yes, that is one major way you could gain subscribers organically, is directly asking individuals to subscribe to you. But right now, I'm playing around on Facebook dating. If you've seen one of my shorts, I stated that I'm looking for multiple women to have children with, to build a dynasty. I want to have the most children in the world. 1,000 children if I can. I want more children who have the most children before. I'm almost done. But yeah, tune in. I'm somebody you want to talk to. And I'm not saying I have all the money in the world, but I have some wisdom I could give out. I believe in working with others. So, and I'm on Facebook dating. I'm not looking for no relationship. I'm looking for partnerships, friendships, stuff like that with women. On this app, on the YouTube, I'm looking for men and women to work with. But on this app where it says dating, I'm looking for women. I'm gonna look up some questions real quick. I'm gonna do research, so I'm gonna look up questions I already looked up, but I might look them up in different ways. Nobody's on here, but I'ma still talk. Let's see. One way I want to get people on here. One thing I promote is Everybody's 1,000 people all subscribing to each other to meet the $1,000 subscriber marker. So I'm gonna look up can 1,000. I'm gonna look up always. I start switching from can you do this, that, and the third to does it go against YouTube policy. So I'm gonna look up does it go against YouTube policy. And I'm streaming for watch hours too. But that could be sub for sub. But let me, because it said it could when I looked it up regularly. Can 1,000 people all subscribe to each other on YouTube to meet the 1,000 subscriber marker? It said yeah, but I'm gonna look up does it go against YouTube policy now. Yep, it says it's fake engagement. Yes, having 1,000 people subscribe to each other solely to meet the 1,000 subscriber threshold is a direct violation of YouTube's fake engagement policy. This behavior, known as sub for sub, subscriber for subscriber, is considered artificial inflation of metrics and can result in the removal of subscribers, strikes on your account, or channel termination. And what I just did was educate. I've also read that education videos are one of the, is a like a prominent category to, thrive on YouTube. Now I'm gonna look up does it go against YouTube policy if 1,000 people all subscribe to one channel, 1,000 content creators all subscribe to one channel and operate underneath that channel. I looked it up earlier. It said it does not inherently go against the policy. Now let's see what it says again, because it could change. This is why I want to sit with a lawyer too, an entertainment lawyer or something. I'm gonna say worked under that channel organically. It says It says having 1,000 people subscribe to and work on one YouTube channel does not violate policy if done organically. It is acceptable to have a team, but YouTube strictly prohibits fake engagement, such as sub for sub or creating multiple artificial accounts, which can lead to termination. The key factor is that the engagement must be genuine, nor not a coordinated group to bypass metrics. So I believe we good to go right there. Look up some promotion stuff. I'm gonna look up after I get 1,000 subscribers, can I give all my subscribers shoes? It says, yes, you can gift items like shoes to your subscribers after reaching 1,000, but it must be structured as a contest or giveaway that complies with YouTube's contest policies. You cannot require a purchase to enter. You must explicitly state that YouTube is not a sponsor, and you must adhere to local, state, and federal laws regarding sweepstakes. And there's a lot of other subcategories. That was just the general answer. And I'm not gonna be buying no $100 shoes for my subscribers. It's gonna be some probably $20 Walmart shoes, which I think are a nice pair of shoes. I have a pair on right now. I'm gonna show y'all it real quick. I have them on right now. I'm gonna post a picture on my YouTube of what they look like when I'm in, what is it, third person? When I'm in third person. These is pretty nice. $20, $27, I believe. They be like, are these A6? I believe I said that name right, but I'm like, nah, these obvious from Walmart. These some cool shoes. They got different colors there. My nephew put me on them. I'm in an undisclosed location right now. I'm posting pictures real quick on Facebook dating. I just went fishing. I'm gonna post some fishing pictures. I just got my hair braided. Hold up, BRB. I gotta send some pictures to my bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. I want to read my bio, so y'all don't know what my bio was for this dating app. Oh, if you are a female from Sacramento, California, it does not matter what part, but I'm looking for homegirls. I'm gonna say change that up. I'm gonna put this how I got it written right now. This is how I got it typed right now, but I'm gonna change it. So I'm gonna put if you are a female from Sacramento, California. And I read girls don't like really care for punctuation, and these are my pictures. My partner said you gotta switch it up. So I got money. I got a couple of selfie pictures. I got me eating out some wings. Bathroom photos is bad. Don't do no bathroom photos. I did a bathroom photo though when I just recently went fishing, so I posted that one. I did have one when I was on the hill in San Francisco, but I lost it. I got it. I probably got it on my phone somewhere, so I'm gonna post that. But I'm gonna put, if you are a female from Sacramento, California, comma, it does not matter what part. Take away the but and leave the comma and say I am looking for a homegirl. So it can say, if you take away it does not matter what part, it'll say if you are a female from Sacramento, California, I am looking for homegirls. I learned that back in school. You're a female from Sacramento, California, comma, it does not matter what part, I'm looking for homegirls. I gotta update my Instagram tag. My Instagram tag is general as sock elite. Exactly. I don't be getting no look. I ain't had no poo poo. You hear me? I ain't no poom poom in like 3 years, 2 years or something. I ain't had a relationship longer than that though. Back to this YouTube ish. You heard me? I'm just trying to get paid. I want to get people paid. Necesito más tatuajes. Ahora. I'm gonna look up what's the easiest way to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube without this is my YouTube lick. I always say I'm trying to hit this YouTube lick. Nobody trying to hit this lick with me. But I feel like once I get the ball rolling, more people follow because that's the cheerleading effect. Without violating YouTube policy. It always says that. Oh, the fastest and most sustainable way to reach 1,000 subscribers without violating YouTube policies to focus on creating high-value YouTube shorts that address specific search queries combined with a consistent, searchable, long-form content strategy. According to 2026 data, the core strategy involves prioritizing views over subscribers. As a 2% conversion rate means you need roughly 50,000 to 100,000 views to gain 1,000 subscribers. Here's the easiest policy compliant blueprint to reach 1,000 subscribers. These are the subcategories for the answer, I believe. Or this is not subcategories. This is still part of the full answer. But this is usually where the subcategories be at. So the easiest policy compliant blueprint to reach 1,000 subscribers is leverage YouTube Shorts, the fastest growth method. High velocity content. Create 3 to 5 short form videos per week designed for Shorts feed. Focus on reach. Shorts are shown to audiences regardless of their previous preferences, allowing for rapid exposure to non-subscribers. Optimize for remixing. Use trending formats, tier lists, 100-day challenges, but apply them to your specific niche to make them unique. The answer specific questions method. Focus on searchable content. Before creating a video, ensure you're answering a specific commonly searched question within your niche. Content pillars. Focus on teaching specific skills, cooking tutorials, or reviewing products. Target low competition keywords. To avoid being overshadowed by larger channels, use niche keywords to appear higher in search results. Niche bending and packaging. Packaging over production. Prioritize compelling titles and high click-through rate thumbnails over expensive editing. Niche bending, 2026 trend. Apply a popular high-performing video format from one niche to another niche where it is not yet common. I don't even know what none of this means. You hear me? I gotta do my research. Reverse engineer success. Find popular videos in your niche and create something better or unique in that exact format. This is some good information. I ain't gonna read it all though. But I've been doing shorts more than I've been doing long YouTube videos. And when I do a long YouTube video, it's usually a live video. Look up what educational videos are viewed most on YouTube. What? The most viewed educational videos on YouTube are overwhelmingly aimed at young children, with nursery rhyme compilations from channels like Little Baby Bum, leading to over 1 billion views. Other top educational content includes kids learning videos, numbers, alphabet, engaging science, engineering, Mark Rober, and academic topic-based channels, Khan Academy, Crash Course. But I think I'm good right here since I'm learning about YouTube. I could use that as my educational videos. I could use what I learned as educational videos, and that could be my niche, I guess. Cause I'm involved in the music industry, I guess. I can't say I'm really involved. I know people in the music industry, but I'm involved. That's the lane I want to be in, or just something around arts regardless. Whether it's like graffiti, I like tattoos. I got a cousin, he dances. Language, I study language. So I want to stay in that lane. I don't want to swerve in the lane of, nursery rhymes for kids. But I did have this idea because I can't see my daughter right now. I did have this idea to post learning videos from my daughter. I forgot what I was gonna call it. It's something with her name. I forgot what it was gonna be. But I could probably still do that. I'm trying to get a subscriber right now. Somebody subscribe to me. Somebody follow me on Instagram. I asked them would they like to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, I'm gonna send the link. They said yes. Networking could be easy if people just said yeah more than they said no. I don't get why people so stuck on this saying no stuff. I mean, like if you fear getting scammed, if you get scammed, you get scammed. But like if you can't tell a scam from a real legitimate thing, then that's on you. You hear me? Cause I didn't know somebody, like personally known somebody who didn't scam me. And I just wanted to see if they was gonna do it, and they really did it. That just let me know I don't need to be around that person no more. So that's why I did that. But like as far as these people calling your phone, pretending to be something, like you falling for that, that's on you. Cause I always Google stuff too. Like just Google it. Google the number, Google the company, do that. You know, I can't really speak because I'm not an expert, but that's what I would do. And I don't even answer unknown phone calls anyways. And in 2026, your phone should say spam risk regardless. Once you get an unknown phone call, if it's a scam, it should say spam risk regardless, or scam likely. I don't think nobody, and I don't think most people want to work for somebody. If I read correctly, I think it says 60% of people wish to be self-employed, but less people than that are self-employed. Are self-employed. Like 2%, 3% of people are self-employed. There goes some education right there. And this YouTube thing, it could be like if 1,000 people subscribe to one YouTube channel and we all operate underneath that YouTube channel, it could be like getting paid from like a penny stock or something, getting 10 cents here, 10 cents there, 10 cents everywhere. But it's like, you can, let me see, how much does YouTube pay for 1,000 views? Oh, we're gonna do 100 views. How much does YouTube pay for 100 views? Because you're most likely, once you post something, you're probably most likely gonna get 100 views. But it does gotta be ad views. I'm gonna look up how much does YouTube pay for 100 ad views. Then I'm gonna look up how much does YouTube pay for 10 ad views. YouTube typically pays between, is that 2 cents? 2 cents and 50 cents for 100 monetized ad views, as most creators earn roughly $1 to $10 per 1,000 ad views. Earnings depend heavily on niche, viewer location, and ad engagement, with finance tech paying more than entertainment. 100 views often results in only a few cents, if any. Cost per, what is that, milli? I don't know what that means. Avatars pay per 1,000 impressions, typically $2 to $12, though it varies. What does, I don't have my voice command set up yet. Let me see. What does avatars pay per 1,000 impressions mean? I do have it set up. What does avatars pay per 1,000 impressions mean? Damn, why is it tripping? It doesn't work. Okay, let me see. To get paid from a YouTube ad, does the viewer? Because basically, what my understanding for what I just read, what the impression was that if the ad is displayed, you still get paid from it. But it said per 1,000 is you get paid from every users. You get paid a set amount from every 1,000 times the ad is displayed. I hope I said that correctly. Does the viewer have to watch the whole ad? No, a viewer does not have to watch the entire ad for a creator to get paid, but they generally must watch at least 30 seconds or the whole ad if it is shorter for skippable ads. If a viewer skips after 5 seconds, the advertiser is not charged and that creator does not earn revenue for that view. Skippable ads, 30-second rule. Advertisers are charged when a viewer watches 30 seconds or more. If that is only 20 seconds long, watching to the end qualifies. Yeah, I'm surprised anybody jumped on here. When I first started doing live videos, people was jumping on here. Well, this is a lot of knowledge, bruh. My mouth all dry. I gotta post something on my Facebook. I don't care what nobody says. God committed infidelity. You heard me? That was infidelity, damn it. I think I posted that already. My Facebook is Ricazo Quera Cortada. Ricazo Quera Cortada. Or like this one I said, if so-called bad words were actually bad words, then they would be red flag with no definition. I find it odd that these so-called bad words are given definitions that don't use so-called bad words, in my opinion. If you was to look up that, why isn't so Joseph, he did not, this is kind of off topic. This is still education. This is education about the Bible. Joseph was not aware initially of Mary being pregnant by God. Now, that is infidelity to me. I don't care how nobody looks at it, because that is a squiggly line. That is not alignment. Because if you was to Google why isn't it looked at as infidelity, God impregnating Mary, one reason why it's not looked at as infidelity is because God did not touch her. They did not have intercourse. But you still had a child. You still put a child in her. Therefore, that aligns with intercourse. That aligns with intercourse. That is, even if you want to say holding hands is sexual behavior, kissing is sexual behavior, you could say Mary was not a virgin if she kissed Joseph before. She held hands with Joseph, gave Joseph hugs. She was not a virgin. Let me look this up. I'm gonna look at what intercourse is first. This is correlation. Now, this is what it says. Sexual intercourse is a physical act typically involving, typically means usually, not meaning all the time. A physical act typically involving the insertion of the penis into the vagina, often for reproduction or pleasure. Now it says typically. Typically does not mean all the time. It says usually, not all the time. So they had intercourse because intercourse is typically involving the insertion of the penis into the vagina, often for reproduction or pleasure. Now, I don't know, God, because you're like, he's like, kind of like, or he, she, whatever you want to call him, that could have been his pleasure, and he reproduced. You see what I'm saying? Because I was Joseph and Mary were married, if I'm not mistaken. So that could have been God's joy was doing that to a married person. And I also read that God created, I'm going to look up, was Joseph and Mary married? Yes, Mary and Joseph were considered married according to Jewish custom at the time of Jesus' conception. Now I'm going to say, God created the snake. Why would you put Adam and Eve in the garden and say, hey, beware this? I'll be telling people, I just told my brother, I just told my siblings. Now God is playing devil tricks. The devil plays tricks like that. I'm going to say, did God create the serpent in the Garden of Eden? God created the snake. So the snake is not God's equal. But that has nothing to do with nothing. God created the snake, so the snake is not God's equal. God is uncreated. The snake is created. What does that say? Aseity, Aseity, is true only of God. That is, only God exists from himself without depending on anything else for existence. Like every other creature, the snake is not independent of God. Now I'm going to go and look up why wasn't God impregnating Mary seen as infidelity? Okay. Now I was gonna say asexual act of God. That is this still, the word sexual is still in there, bro. The conception of Jesus was not seen as infidelity because it was understood as a supernatural asexual act of God via the Holy Spirit rather than human sexual immortality. It was viewed as a divine intervention to fulfill prophecy where Mary remained a virgin and no human man was involved in the conception. I also want to argue that if God was able to put a child into a human, then God got to be human. I'm just saying. I just wanted to say that. I don't know. That could correlate and it could not correlate at the same time. I don't know. But I feel like that correlated too. I'm going to say it was semen involved. That's a swiggly line. Semen wasn't involved, but this is a swiggly line. It's not in spirituality or you're taught alignment. That's not a line. It's a swiggly line. You heard me? And I believe in God because I read that Jesus, Jesus was a real person. But I believe his story was like exaggerated. Yeah. Virtually all scholars of antiquity agree that Jesus of Nazareth was a real historical figure who lived in the first century Palestine, with his baptism and crucifixion considered near universal facts. See, and I've been to jail before. So in that time, Jesus broke the law. Martin Luther King went to jail. Malcolm X went to jail. So to the people in my life, you treat me like shit, you have an opinion about me about going to jail. All these people you love so much, hold dearly to your heart, done went to jail. You heard me? And I don't speak no outrageous things. What I say is not totally off the path. You know, what I say is not totally like out of the realm of making sense. I believe I make sense. I'm on here for 20 more minutes. And I don't always say I hope I made sense because what I say is not scripted. I didn't write none of this down. I'm gonna say, what did Jesus commit a crime? So based on biblical narrative, Jesus was not considered a criminal in the modern sense, but was convicted of religious and political charges by authorities. He was accused of blasphemy by Jewish leaders for claiming to be the Son of God, and sedition, insurrection by Romans for being called King of the Jews, leading to his execution. Reading about that stuff is interesting. So I believe God was real if Jesus was real. But I don't know. I'm gonna say, is it a fact? Now this is why I be telling people. I tell people I can have a baby just like God. I don't have to touch a woman. I can have a baby through surrogacy, through being a sperm donor. I can have children like that. That is like having a baby like God. So that could be like what the Bible meant. The Bible could be read as a metaphor, simile, idiom, wherever category that falls in. In between the lines, reading in between the lines, the Bible could be read like that too. Whether Jesus is really the Son of God is a matter of faith, centering on whether one assesses the biblical theological claim of his divinity or interprets it metaphorically. That's crazy because I have never read that before, and it says interprets it metaphorically. Christians believe Jesus is the literal divine Son of God and God incarnate, while other views see him as a prophet or teacher. All right, that's enough on that. Accidentally turned up. Oka Cali with that sack on me. I gotta see how long it takes to get home. I got work. Let me see. Oh, not bad. Hour 20. Not bad at all. Not too, what's the word? Shabby? Shabby? I don't really know. I do know I gotta take a piss though. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, put y'all in my pocket. Ten more minutes and I'm to the house. Estamos at 10 minutos. I ain't got nothing to say, really. What God did was like dry humping. That's like dry humping. Oh, them is religious people. They're not, that in them shows or movies where they be showing the religious couple who be in love, they won't have sex yet, so they dry hump. Are you even allowed to have such impure thoughts when you're supposed to be a virgin, a Christian, or whatever? Is that even allowed? Let me see what I'm gonna look up. Can Christians have impure thoughts? Yes, Christians can and do have impure thoughts, as they are not immune to temptation, though they are called to take every thought captive to Christ. While Christians are expected to pursue holiness, make sure I can hear this because the mic is on my pants. Yes, Christians can and do have impure thoughts, as they are not immune or to temptation, though they are called to take every thought captive to Christ. While Christians are expected to pursue holiness, having an intrusive or unexpected wrong thought is not considered a sin. Rather, knowingly dwelling on, enjoying, or acting on those thoughts is. And unmarried Christians dry hump. Most traditional Christian perspectives consider dry humping among unmarried people to be sinful, as it is viewed as sexual immorality or premarital sexual activity that falls short of God's standard for purity. It is generally considered a form of passionate activity that violates the call to avoid sexual sin and lust. Now let's see if God's supposed to follow his rules. Supposed to, expected to. It says, in traditional Christian theology, God is generally not considered to be under the laws he created for humanity, because those laws, like do not kill, are designed for human limitations, whereas God is sovereign. How do I say that word? Sovereign. I'm going to say sovereign. However, God is understood to follow his own moral nature, meaning he cannot act against his own holy, just, and loving character. Laws are for creatures, not the creator. God's laws often protect and provide for people or define human morality. As sovereign, God is not subject to the same restrictions, such as taking a life, because he is the author of life and can dispose of it as he sees fit. Nature versus rulebook. God's laws are an expression of his character rather than a legal code he must follow. He acts according to his nature, which is inherently good and righteous. But I'm just saying, like, how is this, like, nature is good and righteous, right? But from what I read, Joseph was not happy about Mary being pregnant without his knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, the right way to do something is to go to both of them and say, hey, your wife is a virgin. I gotta read the story again. Hey, your wife is a virgin. You know, I respect that or whatever. I would like to gift her my son. You know what I'm saying? But he went behind Joseph's back. Like, he didn't respect Joseph as a man. Let me see, did God make men the head? But after I read all of this. Nature was first versus rule, but God's laws are an expression of his character rather than a legal code he must follow. He acts according to his nature, which is inherently good and righteous. Fulfillment in Christ. While the Old Testament laws were for people, Christians believe Jesus fulfilled the law, setting a standard of love rather than legalistic obedience. Different perspectives. Some argue that God is beyond human law and the concept of following rules, essentially embodying the law itself, while others hold that God remains faithful to the moral framework he has established. So, based on biblical interpretation, many traditions believe God established male headship, with men holding authority or responsibility in the home and church. This concept is often linked to the order of creation, Adam first, in specific scriptures like Ephesians 5:23, though it is viewed by some as a partnership, not dictatorship. 1 Corinthians 11:3 states, the head of every man is Christ, the head of woman is man, and the head of Christ is God. Now let's see. I want to see what type of person Joseph was. Did Joseph keep Mary a virgin? Whether Joseph kept Mary a virgin depends on theological interpretation. Catholic and Orthodox traditions teach that Mary was a perpetual virgin, meaning she and Joseph never had sexual relations, retaining her virginity before and after Jesus's birth. Conversely, many Protestant traditions hold that they remained abstinent only until Jesus was born, with the normal marital life afterward. So even when they were married, they didn't have sex. You know, if I read correctly, they were married. When I googled where they married, it said yes, they were married. Based in the Jewish law's eyes, I believe it said. So, and then right here it says some believe that they, in some religious eyes, they remained hands free of each other regarding sexual intercourse before and after Jesus' birth. So I'm just saying, why would God cross a man like that? Not to speak down on God. I'm just saying, like, eyes are correlating, thinking for yourself, making sense. Why would God cross a man like that? If God made men the head, I'm gonna see if they kiss. Did Joseph and Mary kiss? The Bible does not explicitly state whether Mary and Joseph kissed. While they were legally married, their marriage was not consummated, as Mary remained a virgin. However, many traditions suggest they shared a loving, respectful relationship where affectionate, non-sexual physical contact, such as hugging or a respectful kiss, was likely. So it sounds to me like God got excited, because it says they were legally married, husband and wife, not just engaged and lived together, but maintained a chaste virgin marriage. Even when they were married, it says you cannot have sex until marriage. Even when they were married, they stayed virgins. All right, then, y'all. That's all I gotta cut it short. I gotta go.